Hello folks, and welcome back to another questing video. I am the Lone Adventurer, and this is the second in my series on NoteQuest, the expanded world. In the first video we created a character, a halfling guard. Not much to say about that really. Characters start off very straightforward in this game, and we started to create our world that we'll be exploring. So you always start with a human city on a plain, and then you generate the landscape around that city. What are we going to do? Well, we're in a city. There's not really much you can do in a city when you haven't got any money. The only thing that you can do, well, you can sell stuff, but I haven't got stuff to sell. In a human city you can eliminate a curse or cursed item for 200 coins, so that's pretty expensive. But I haven't got any cursed items and I haven't got 200 coins. You can ask around, so you can go into the nearest tavern and you can inquire as to whether there's anywhere that is noteworthy that a budding dungeon explorer might want to go to check out. So let's do that. I'm going to generate a dungeon in one of these locations, but I don't think I'm going to go straight to it. I think because we're playing a Overland hex exploration type game here, it would be more fun to actually go out into the world and do some exploring. Now, if that doesn't go my way and I just get attacked by a bunch of bandits or something and injured, then maybe I'm going to have to scramble to the nearest dungeon as quick as possible to see whether I can find some money or some stuff I can sell in order to get back up to peak health. So let's find out where there's going to be a dungeon. So we've got the finding dungeon rules here. So we roll 1d6 to work out where the dungeon is going to be, and then we roll another d6 to see what type of dungeon it is. Okay, let's do it. So I'm starting here. So if I roll a 1, I'd put the dungeon here, and then I'm going to go clockwise, so 6 would be in the mountains here. So 2, so we're going to put a dungeon in this hex here, and then we would look, this is a plain, so we would look at the plain there, so we might have a palace, a crypt, a tomb, a sanctuary, a temple, or a prison, depending upon what we roll. A 3, so we've got a tomb. All right, now I need to decide how I'm going to represent a tomb on my map. Not really sure what that is, but there you go. That's my tomb. We need to generate the name of this tomb, and I'm going to note that here. The expanded rules have this great big list of potential tomb names or location names, which is kind of cool. I find this quite satisfying to do. So let's go for it. So 5, 6, 7. So we've got the Sinister Tomb, 7 of the gloomy serpent, the gloomy serpent, the sinister tomb of the gloomy serpent. All right. With that done, we need to decide where we're going to go. So my inclination is to go sort of in that direction. So we might go up here, or we might go down here. And that way we're sort of near the tomb if we suddenly decide that we want to explore it. So moving through the world, let me remind myself, walking around. Okay, so when you're walking around planes, you have to consume 1 provision per day, per hex that you enter. Any other land type is 2, requires you to consume 2 provisions, except mountains, which require you to consume 3. So it's quite pricey if you choose to go up into mountains. That would cost 3 provisions. If I went down into this forest here, that would cost me 2 provisions. But over in the plains, it's just a sweet, sweet 1 provisions per hex explored. So this is my little system that I've worked out. I use letters to track what is in each hex, and then I use numbers to track my movement around. I've just written where I started, that I asked about dungeons, and that I'm moving into hex 2. So when we move into a hex, we need to see whether we have an event. So we're going to roll 2d6. If I roll a 7 or more, nothing happens. But if I roll less than that, then something happens. 9. So nothing happens in this hex. Except that I use one of my provisions, obviously. Now that we've found out that nothing happens in that hex, we now need to generate the next 3 hexes to see what type of land we've got there. So we're in a plain, and that means we're rolling on the exact same column of the table as we did for the starting city, because that was also on a plane. And we've got another plane. I always start up here, so I'm going to start here. Next one down here. Another plane. Not very exciting, is it? And the final one is a mountain. No, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one, the wrong table. It's a forest. Which is kind of cool, actually, because that means that we've got sort of a little area of forest here. We've got a great big plains here. We've got an area of forest here. And we need to decide what we're going to do. Are we going to carry on exploring, or are we going to head into the tomb? I missed a step. In fact, I missed a step in the first video when we generated the hexes around the original location. When revealing a hex, roll a die. If the number is a 6, there is a location there. Then roll a die on the table below. So we need to check for every single hex that we've generated so far, excluding the first one, which already has a location, the city, to see whether there's a location there. So I'm going to move round here, ignoring this one as well because we've got a tomb there, and then we'll do these new ones that we generated as well. So we're going to start up here. Nothing. 6, so we've got a location here. Interesting, the place where we're at the moment. Alright, let's do this one as well. Oh, we've got a location there. Not there. Not there. Not there. Nope. And yes. So we're going to have a location here, here, and here. So it's actually quite crowded in this part of the world. Okay, let's do the plain ones first. Right. 2. So we've got a goblin city. So I've just wandered into this hex and only just noticed, let's say, that there is a goblin city right there. I think what I might do actually is skip the location that's here, because otherwise it's just going to get a bit too crowded. And then we will, yeah, let's roll for a location here. Three, some ruins. How do ruins work? It says here, ruins, you can explore the ruins as if they were a dungeon. See below. So does that mean we've got some ruins, dungeon exploration? Oh, okay, ruins. Upon reaching a ruins hex, you must roll 2d6 and refer to the table below. It'll be a kind of dungeon. Okay, so ruins are basically just a dungeon. Alright. So I need to just squeeze in a little picture of whatever I think a goblin city would look like. I think they probably live in sort of quite squat little buildings. So that's our goblin city, and then down here some ruins. I don't think I'm going to draw that on yet. I'm just going to right, we've got some ruins there. So I don't think we're going to do much in our goblin city. I mean, we can buy some kind of fancy goblin potion there if we want. As a halfling, this is the table that dictates the relations between the different races, but as a halfling you're actually okay everywhere. Everyone likes halflings, so that's nice. But I don't think I'm going to do anything in the goblin city. I think I might just head up and go into the old tomb that we found. Maybe it's time to get into a tomb and to start doing some exploring. Is it? Shall I do one more hex? I'll do one more hex and then we'll go up. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to travel over into this hex here. So we're going to need to consume a provision, then run on the event table. I find it slightly charming that this game being originally written in Spanish or Portuguese, I'm not sure which. Sometimes little bits have been forgotten in the English translation. So this table is actually the eventos table. Don't know why I like that, but I do. Okay, so let's roll to see if anything is going to happen in this hex. 6. Where are we? We're plains. This is yes. We're in a plain. Oh no, heavy rain. Lose 1 provision. So there you go. That'll teach me for trying to explore, won't it? So we've had some heavy rain. So actually, it kind of, with that heavy rain happening, it kind of makes sense that our character is going to be all wet and bedraggled and searching for somewhere to take shelter. So it wouldn't be much of a stretch for him to think, hang on, I was told to the north of here there is that tomb. I could go and shelter in the tomb and maybe see if I could find some gold with which I could use to replace the provisions that I've just lost in the storm. I like that. Okay. Anyway, before we head off into the next hex, we need to generate these 3 here. We're in a plane still. So we've got another plane here. Let's draw it on. Very plainy. But planes are easy to move through, so I guess it's not necessarily a bad thing. Next one. 3 is a forest. There we go, and the final one down here. 4 is another plane. So where we're at, we're in here. We had a crappy storm, and now we're going to go up to here. So we're going to go up here, and we're going to enter the tomb. Alright, I mean, I'm tempted to say this is a decent stopping spot, so let's do that. In the next video I will enter the tomb, the sinister tomb of the gloomy serpent, and we'll see whether we can find some lovely gold to go and sell in one of the nearby cities. But there you go, that's my first little overland exploration in my new kingdom that I've been creating. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and I shall see you, I hope, in the next one. Thank you very much for watching.